Blessed day, Christ Kingdom ambassadors. Woo! I love you. If no one's told you that they love you today, you know that I love you. Look at that. Look at that. Deep breath. Lion of Judah. Yehovah God. Yahweh. Yehovah Sabaoth, in the name of YHWH HaMashiach. That's his son's real name. And if you do your research, you'll find out why the name change is part of the deception. But Yeshua is Yehovah God's son who was sacrificed for us, for all of us, for you, for me, for all of us. Normally these messages are rushed. We're 4 months into the new year. The new year began actually in September 2025. But because a lot of people recognized it on January, that's why we're beginning to feel that energy. We feel it. Not a shape-shifting. Not a shape-shifting. Yehovah God is getting his kingdom. He's building his kingdom. He's getting his kingdom ready. He's getting his kingdom ready. It's set. The foundation is now set. Thank you, Holy Ghost, Spirit, Abba, Father, in the name of YHWH HaMashiach. Don't bullshit, get it out, Monday. Hey! What I am saying now is, Yehovah God, please help me control this passion that you know I have for you. I do not do many long videos, but I will do a long video when it's necessary. And today, it is necessary. I bring Yehovah God's angels with me. I'm surrounded by them on all sides. This is a hospital. I'm outside a hospital. Do you know how many angels are around a hospital? Can you imagine? That's the best place to pray. That's the best place to pray. Just take a break with me. I'm not illegally accessing any portals. I'm not astral projecting. I don't have to. I spend so much time with God. I have sunspots. That's how close I was to God. I have sunspots. I was so close to him. Yeah. Praying. And just telling Yehovah God how grateful I am. Don't bullshit it in on Monday. You know, a lot of people, you know, we go to God a lot of times. A lot of people, they just go to Yehovah God when they need something, or when something bad is happened, or something bad is going on, right? No. Not me. Do you have a minute? Are you busy? You feel that? You feel that? Look at me. I don't want anything from you. I don't need anything from you. Yehovah Sabaoth, my maker, he is my husband. He is my husband. I don't need, I don't want anything from you. Do you know that the federal government, I worked for the federal government over 20 years. And I was a viewer on YouTube. I processed out. I'm no longer with the federal government. I'm 1,000,000% dependent on my husband, Yehovah Sabaoth, right now. But my accounts don't make sense. Why? I'm no longer with the federal government. I went from being a viewer with maybe just 100 or 200, maybe 300 viewers to 30,000 viewers. Don't bullshit it. Let me tell you. I met with I met with the Pam Bundys of the agencies. I mean, above that, And you know what they said? They said, are you doing some scam? Come here. Come here, I want you to hear this. I'm right here with you. Stay with me if I'm moving too slow for you. If I'm moving too slow for you right now, I can understand. Click off, because this isn't for you. This is for the chosen. This is for the chosen. And right now they feel me. They feel me. They see me. They want me. The God in me. Not me. The God in me. And this message, these words, oh bullshit, they don't want it. It's so much. I'm filled. I'm filled. With him. I sat with him. Do you know how my soul rejoiced at them asking me, was I running a scam? I said no. I said no. And I looked her in the eyes, just like this. And I said, I love you. Out of the abundance of love Yehovah God placed in my heart for you. I love you. Yehovah God loves you. That's why you found me. That's why you found this channel. Everybody wants something, right? Let's just talk. Do you have a minute? Do you have a minute? Because let me tell you something. Don't bullshit it on me. There's more than one heaven. There's more than one heaven than what you see. There's a first heaven. There's a second heaven. There's a third. There's a fourth heaven. Forgive me. No, I don't apologize. I don't apologize. I'm filled. There's more than one heaven. And let me tell you, when I went to the top, when Yehovah God took me to the top, there is no offense. What I mean is things, problems, thoughts, ruminating thoughts, and things that go on in this world is distractions. It's not real. It doesn't matter. This is just a dream. This is a stage. It's not real, you know. But you have to perform. Be yourself. Being yourself, being able to be myself right now. When you come to Yehovah God in the name of YAHWEHSHUA HAMASHIACH, you can be yourself. It's not the work expectations. It's not, you know, the world expectations. It's not your friends' expectations. It's not your lover, your husband's expectations. You're living for God. It's Yehovah God's expectations, period. Clearly. Point blank and that simple. Father, please help me explain what I'm trying to say right now. There is no offense. Okay, let me tell you. TransParent-See. Okay? TransParent-See. I grew up in a Jack and Jill family. You know, the mom, the dad, the beautiful brother, the beautiful sister, the perfect family, right? When my parents divorced, I was a teenager. When my parents divorced, I wasn't expecting that devastation. So at that time, I cleaved to Yehovah God. I gave my life to Yehovah God. I grew up Catholic. I went to a Protestant. My grandmother took us to a Protestant service. And I felt like you know, my sister and I, you know, we're like, ooh, we have freedom now. My parents were strict. We're like, ooh, hoo, hoo. You know, our parents are divorced. They're going through, going through a divorce. They were going through their thing. But I can be honest, as teenage kids, my sister and I were like, dang, we can hang out with our friends now. We can do this, we can do that, because they're so busy. You know, we had little freedom. And let me see how strict my parents were. We could go, we had to ask permission to ride our bikes around the block, or to ride our bikes, or sometimes 2 houses down. We just had to let them know. They kept a tight tight cord on us. A tight cord. They kept a tight cord on us. So when we were able to explore our freedom and stuff, it was like, ooh, you know, exciting. My grandmother had us go to church with her. It was during revival. Keep in mind, I grew up Catholic. When this preacher was talking, you guys, when this preacher was talking, it felt like he was talking directly to us. We go in, the first thing we do, look, we're looking around. We want to see, are there other young people or kids like us, right? So we can, you know, hang out with maybe later. And the preacher said, all of a sudden the preacher was like, so, you know, what are you going to do when the fun and games run out? What are you going to do when the time runs out? And then he said sternly, what are you going to do? We listened to that sermon, and he preached. Next thing I know, my sister's getting up and she's shaking, her legs are shaking. And she's like, and she goes up and she says, she's crying, and she doesn't know why she's crying. And I'm crying, but I didn't stand up, right? And she said she feels something in her leg, and she let him know that she wanted to be saved. She felt the Spirit. And I followed up, and I'm just in tears, and we gave our lives to Christ. I've been baptized a few times. Why? Some people argue why more than once. As an adult later, I went to a church with my daughter. She gave her life, and I was baptized again. Yehovah God is great. And I say that to say this. Things that preceded me giving my life to Yehovah God. I love my mother. I'm a caretaker. I love my mother. I love my mother very much. I love my mother. My mom and dad gave us a lot of attention. They poured into us every day, you know, about our day. How was your day? You're awesome. You're great. You're so smart. You did a great job. Man, I love you. You're my little man, to my brother, right? You're my girls. I love y'all. Y'all so beautiful. Man, my dad would be like, my dad would say, my dad would say, you guys better when you guys get older, you better tell your whoever tries to date you guys that I don't play about you guys. I love you guys. You're beautiful. You're special. You're so special. You're beautiful. If we went through things at school, someone said something about us, our dad was just, always uplifting, always positive about his approach. An awesome dad, right? My dad would resemble Idris. Idris Alba was my dad growing up, the dark complexion, tall. He was heavy set. He turned a lot of eyes when he walked by. Okay. My mom, I would say favor, but she was taller. I'm 5'2". My mom 5'9", so she was taller, right? And they were just a power couple together, and things that they did together that I recall that really impacted me. For one thing is they always helped the unsheltered. They made sure we had everything that we needed. They made sure we had more than what we needed. And with the overflow, they would always help family, friends, strangers, always. And they would and Yehovah God would always pour more into them. My mom didn't have to work. My dad's been married 3 times. 3 times he was married. None of his wives worked. None of them. Hardworking man, king, right? A real man of God. A real man of God. They were college sweethearts. They went to Southern University, and my dad would always say, him growing up, his father was a very prominent preacher in New Orleans, and his mom was a pillar in the community. She was a designer. She worked at the school. She did Bible study. She worked with Special Olympics. She was a pillar in the community. She was such a pillar in the community. She is one of the few melanated people that are part of Daughters of the Confederation. That's a huge deal. And also my aunt was a daughter of the Confederation, right? So I'm just giving you some background to just build you up to transparency. Because if you subscribe to somebody, if you subscribe to my channel, it's at least fair that you really get to know me. Okay? I have nothing to hide. Okay? I've been a friend to a prostitute before. And I loved her. And I thought I could love her out of being a prostitute. I knew she was a prostitute. She would call me when she was with some dangerous or disgusting men with pus on their body. But she wanted or needed the money. She wanted the money. She didn't need it. I would be in the military and she could call me, and if I had it, I would give it to her. If I had it, I gave it to you. And most times I had it. Most times I had it. Unless Yehovah God, my husband, Yehovah Sabaoth, my husband was like, that's enough. He don't know the bullshit. He don't let them take advantage. I learned that from my parents, right? So if I had enough, I'm pouring into you. Okay, it's your turn. You with me? Or most times you first. I can wait. So I learned selflessness from my parents. Okay. Monitoring spirits, so astral projectors. I'll give you a minute to catch up so you can use whatever against me that you need to use against me. I have nothing to hide. growing up, I experienced some bullying, a fair share. I did. I went to, after my parents divorced, I went to 5 different high schools in 4 years. Yehovah God still had me graduate early, and I enrolled in a university, a community college. They had a community college that you could enroll in when I was in Tennessee. It was a community college, not the university, but you could transfer to the university. Because I was subjected to so much bullying in school, and my mom loved me so much. Let me tell you, my parents loved me so much. I had a 3rd grade teacher that commented illy on the love and adoration that my parents showed me. I don't want to misquote her, but I went home and I told my parents, and my parents were upset. She was just like, wow, I hope you're gonna be you're gonna be in bad shape, and I don't know what she said, but I don't even want to go there. But I was in 3rd grade and my teacher said this to me, right? So my mom would always say, and at this time it was a melanated chocolate complexion teacher. My mom, I love her very much, and she's delivered from this, but this is a part of my testimony. It's a huge part of my testimony. My mom was a colorist. Despite my dad being the complexion of Idris, she had a chocolate stepfather. She had a chocolate siblings. She had a different dad than her siblings, right? So she would tell me to tell my bully. She would always say, everything, I don't like this, but she understands now, but everything was related to color, beauty, insults, correction. So, but with my dad would always say, pray about it. It's just, or you don't know what they're dealing with, or, approach it this way. He was always tell us to do, go the God way. My mom loves God. She is saved, but my mom would tell me to tell them something else. And I would cast spells. My mom, no, my mom is not a witch. The way you cast spells is when you speak life and death. Life and death is in the tongue. So if my mom told me something to say to them, to silence them with words that you spell, that's casting spells. I cast those spells out there. And you guys, I'll tell you this, and you can choose this. You can choose to continue to subscribe to me, or you can delete me on here. I have eternal life. I have nothing to hide. Other people I want other people to learn from me and grow, and I want to learn from you, and I can learn from you. Those words that I spoke to 2 individuals that I can think of, 2 individuals for sure, traumatized them. These words were worse than something a racist would say. But it wasn't curse words. But they were curse words, because it cursed their spirit. It cursed their spirit. It doesn't matter what they said to me. I later was able to go on Facebook. I don't even use Facebook like that. But I went on Facebook. I was able to find one individual. Her name was Vernita. I'll never forget. And I said, Vernita, I put a message on there. I said, Vernita, I'm so sorry. I mean, I just apologized from my heart, and she was so grateful. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm going to get some Kleenex. She was so grateful by my apology, and I felt relieved, and I felt released, and I think she apologized too. But at that point, it wasn't about that. It was about what I had said and what I did to her. My spirit had been convicted and my spirit was arrested until I apologized. And it felt so great. Like even now sharing, I feel amazing. Just sharing that. Watch what you say to people. Just because people hurt you does not mean you say things bad back to them. My dad loved my mom so much. He loves her. He loves her. Even now they're not married, but when I moved to watch, this is how much my parents, I want y'all to see how much, I'm going to show you guys how much my parents love me. And I love you guys. And I love, and you guys, the ones sticking with me right now, I love you. I love you. And God bless you for just listening and just being here. It's going to get to a conclusion, I promise you. There's a method to my madness, but I love you. The more people, you know, should do that. You don't know who you've hurt with your words. I mean, everybody. I mean, family, friends, anybody that I've hurt my words, I've made sure I go back and you apologize. Now, this is the thing. Witchcraft, reverse witchcraft is them wanting you to make an idol of them by continuing to apologize. So they'll continue to bring it up. Like, oh, but you said this. Oh, but you did this. You did this. They're not going to talk about what they did. They want to keep bringing it up. Now, after you apologize once, I've even apologized 3 times to some people, even more than that. But after that, you have to let go. Think of this world as a computer system, and a person like that would be a virus. You know, it's like a loop. They want to continue to keep you right there. You're trying to move forward. That's a virus in the system, right? I'm telling you, it's a virus in the system. So you got to pray about it, and you have to let those type of people go. But so later on, the moment I was able to confront my mom about being a colorist is after my daughter was born. Beautiful red brown baby, beautiful red brown baby. I have 2 beautiful red brown chocolate, baby girls, right? But my firstborn, okay, so I'm in the military, right? I'm getting ready to get out. I'm married. My mom's helping out, and I'm on a ship, and this time on the ship, I'm not nearby. I'm on a ship. They're doing workups, so my daughter had to go be with my mom and be with my mom for a while. And when I came back, I was so excited to see my baby. I love her. She's very smart, pays attention to everything, and she says to me, now keep in mind, I have never been in rooms, I've never been around my parents and felt less than, like they didn't love me, like they put anyone else above me, nothing like that. There was no comparison is the thief of joy. That's my dad's big thing that he says. Comparison is the thief of joy. Don't do no comparison. We're all different. Yehovah God made us all in his image and his likeness. We're all different, right? And I will talk about, I'm gonna get into destiny swapping and astral projecting in the end, but I just bear with me, okay? So Yehovah God is great. These angels are surrounding me, they're comforting me, and they're walking me through this. Transparent-See. Be transparent and see, right? Okay. Had my baby. She tells me she overheard a conversation that my mom had. And I said, really? Okay. And she's like, yeah, she was just talking about, she said that she was bragging that she had a light-skinned daughter, and she was just speaking on it like, this is a little 6-7-year-old, right? Holy Ghost Spirit, I have forgave and we have moved on from that. So Lord Father God, let that upsetness, that anger go. Okay, it's gone. I'm not angry about it anymore. I've confronted it, I've dealt with it, but I'm sharing with you. So so when I get, when I was able to talk to my mom, I was like, look, Ma, you did that a lot growing up, man. You did it a lot, and I didn't recognize it, that that's being a colorist, but my baby overheard you, and I'm not okay with that. Like that is not cool, right? So then she was taken back, like, oh no, I was just I didn't mean it for that purpose. I didn't. She really meant no harm, but it caused harm. It caused a little harm, right? But I addressed it, and from that point on, I was a lot sensitive to color comments. So what I did was, when my dad raised me, so my dad ended up raising me after they were divorced and I was in high school, and there was a chocolate complexion young lady in one of my classes, and she talked about how her family treated her less than, she her schoolwork and stuff, she didn't do that well in schoolwork, here nor there. And I was like, you are beautiful, you are this, you like a Barbie doll. That's what I would tell her. I'd tell her that. I was like, girl, you serious? You look like a Barbie doll. I'd be like, look, yeah, I know comparison is the thief of joy, and like, don't tell your sisters, but you're the most beautiful one. Like, like that would be me. Like I would champion for her. Right? Later on in life, I ended up going into the military, but I was still called to check on her, uplift her. My parents are my best friends, and then I have three wonderful professional young ladies, God-fearing young ladies in the DC area that I've been friends with for a couple of decades, that embrace me, love me, hold my hand through things, no nonsense. If you cross or hurt me, like, they are done, right? They want no parts of that. They're not betrayers. They're not going to backstab you. They're not. I know their spirit. But when I met this young lady, let's just say her name is, I don't know, Leandria. When I met Leandria, she wasn't trustworthy, and she, but I cared for her. And I wanted to uplift her. And I wanted her to feel the way that I feel every day. When I talk to my mom and dad, and the way they champion me, and the way that, I poured that into her as much as I could whenever we talked, every time we talked. I never took anything from this young lady, but I would always want to spoil her because she had low self-esteem. And at one time she had ended up putting, I remember I'd gotten married, and there was a situation with my husband and I. Okay, so he cheated, but he came to me himself and he apologized, and he told me what happened. Right, and he'd made a CD. He came to Bethesda, station. I was in Bethesda at the time, and he came in this car, and he had made this CD with like Jagged Edge and Sam Salter and all the, just all these songs on it. He was really sorry. But let me tell you something, because I had not witnessed a woman forgive and move on from infidelity. I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know what to do. So I can tell you this, and I was in my early 20s. The person that came back to me and apologized, was a different man than a man that cheated on me. He had been changed, but I didn't know how to love him. I didn't know how to love him. I only knew how to be upset, and I was stuck on that. Like, I feel this way. So if Satan whispered something to me and I was feeling a certain way that day, he had to carry it to the point where I said, Lord, I could feel the demonic conclusion of that situation if we continued that way. And I didn't want him to continue to suffer and be punished, you know. So I broke that generational. I had to. Oh, sorry. That's gross, right? So sorry. So I ended up going through a separation, a divorce from him. So while I was going through the separation and divorce, he had a friend. And this friend was a friend that he believed would stick to him closer than a brother. They were so close. They changed their last names to be the same. Okay, let's see. I'll give you my first. I don't want to put anything out there. So Pope. Okay, Pope. Olivia Pope, right? I'm the real Olivia Pope, and I'm in Washington D.C. Well, isn't that something? The real Pope, right? Olivia Pope. Okay, so Pope, okay, had cheated. He admitted his wrongs. He dealt with whatever he had to, you know, deal with for, you know, cheating with that other female and also with me. So we decided to go our separate ways. Well, one day I was in the hospital. But that's the hospital I'll never forget. And I wasn't a big fan of his friend. Like, he would always say, oh, you know, my friend is so crazy, you know, he thinks you're this and that, but I'm not that person. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm like, whatever. So his friend, I see him in the hospital. I try to avoid him, and he's like, he runs me down to get my attention. He's like, how are you doing? Like, you know, how's my goddaughter? And I'm like, I'm very dry. I'm like, oh, she's fine. And I'm like, yeah, good. Yeah, she's fine. And he continues to talk to me. And I don't know what he said to really break the ice. Oh, this is what he did. So we'll just say that his name is Christian Keys. That's a good example. So Christian Keys, that's who he is. But we'll say that's who it is. So Christian Keys says to me, he says, as I'm walking away, like I'm trying to hot tail it out. Like, I don't want to get into the conversation about, you know, this divorce. I don't want him to, you know, I just don't like the memories that are coming up while I'm standing next to him. So he says, I'll never talk to your husband again. I can't believe that he did that to you guys. Like, I'm disgusted. Like, I can't believe he did that to you guys, and there's no excuse for that. And I don't know his exact words, but you guys, I folded. I'm just, and the next thing I know, I had to sit down, and I'm just bawling. I'm just letting all this out because it's like my feelings were validated, and I couldn't believe this is his best friend. And he changed his last name to him. They would, oh, goodness gracious. They were known as cousins, right? They would do their hairstyles the same. Christian Keys was Panamanian, so my divorced husband would do his hair like Christian Keys, right? So I just all that emotion that I had held, all that, you know, I'm trying to be strong, and I'm just, you know, I'm moving on, and I just felt a warmth, and I just felt a comfort, and I just looked over, and it's his hand, and he's like rubbing my back, and he's like, look, I'm not gonna leave until you're okay. I know you can't see, I know you can't stand me, I know you don't want to deal with me, but I'm not gonna leave until you're okay. And I just bawled more, right? I'm just bawling. Make a long story short, for a year he would check in. He was like, look, he would say, look, I just want to check in on my goddaughter. So he just made it like he was checking in on his goddaughter. And this man knew the good, the bad, the ugly. This man knew everything about me. I was married to his friend, and I'm not making an excuse, okay? Because let me tell you something. I was the woman at the well. Are you ready for this? He proposed to me. No, he didn't. Wait, let me tell you. He ended up getting my daughter, his goddaughter, and my face tattooed on his body. If you don't believe me, you can ask my enemy. asked my enemy, asked Leandria, who slept with one of my exes that, oh, here nor there, that I don't even, it's not, no offense. Okay, I take no offense. I just say, Lord have mercy. It's not even anything to have to forgive, right? It's like, you know, it's like, no. But so Christian Keys ends up getting my face and his face. I'm sorry, gets my face and my daughter's face, his goddaughter's face on his body. Then he gets my middle name on his neck. Then he gets my first name and his last name on his chest. When I tell you he ended up getting 3 or 4 tattoos, I'm going to say 3 tattoos of me. And each time he did it was like a nail. It was like a nail that I felt, as far as, even if I wanted to get out of that relationship, I felt like I was obligated. And I didn't realize, but that was a soul tie. That's a Jezebel thing. It's a Jezebel thing to do, right? It's a Jezebel. I felt like a Jezebel. Even though no one knew the details of the story, I felt a Jezebel, right? And I did. That was a Jezebel spirit. That was a Jezebel spirit. You know, I could have dated or been with someone else. Yes, he knew me. Yes, he was there for me. Yes, he comforted me. But it was nothing but a Jezebel spirit that ended up bringing us together. We ended up getting married. And then, you know, over time, it didn't matter how many tattoos were on his body. But Leandria, you know, she would say, I wish somebody would get my name tattooed on them. Okay. She said, I wish someone would get my name tattooed on them. And I'm thinking in my head, like, it's kind of scary, because you feel like I felt like if I would have broken it off with him earlier on, that, Lord have mercy. Okay. I'm just going to leave it at that. Luckily I was able to, he's one of the few two gentlemen. I've been married, 3 times, twice to the same person, and engaged a couple of times as well. But I've been chosen a lot, but it wasn't just for my flesh that they chose me. It was the God in me, is what I realized. I can't say, keep in mind, this is 20 years ago. Okay. I'm older now. This is 20 years ago. It was truly for the God in me, because I'm always seeking, asking, seeking, knocking, right? And I always had a passion and a light in me for Yehovah God. It was just me finding my way. Okay, so finally I call his dad, and I'm like, I tell him the truth. I'm like, look, I don't want to be with him, right? I can't. This is, you know. At that time, some things were going on, and also with work, so our duty stations were going to separate us, or my detailer was going to do something in a way so that it will look like, it's by work that you guys can't be together. We're separated by detail. I don't know exactly what he did. I'm not going to even say what he did. I don't know. But apparently on one of the DD-214s, what it said was that it was a terrorist act. That, I don't know if he went to the captain, or I don't know what he said or what he did to the captain. I didn't get the clear details, and I don't want to speak on what I know, but he ended up, he was labeled a terrorist. So that situation was a little messy of how I got out of it. And, and he ended up disappearing. I don't know where he is. I did not know, where he went. And that's when I ended up leaving, and I came into the federal government. And I moved here. And before I moved here, I found I was going to move to Washington, D.C. This is why I'm the woman at the wheel. Remember, I was married. Then the cousin falls in love with me, deeply in love with me. He's telling me how he's always been in love with me. When I would send pictures or anything to my husband, that he would look at them, and he would always say that he wanted a wife that looked like, he said, even when he was a kid, before he met me, he said he knew his wife, that his wife would look like him. Keep in mind. But it was also my heart and my spirit. He did appreciate my heart and my spirit. We did have some great times, and I felt safe. I felt safe because he knew me. I felt safe for a number of reasons. And okay, so now I'm planning to move to DC. And somehow I reconnected, and I found out that a crush, a crush that used to tease and taunt me in middle school already lived in DC. So he offers to show me around, and this is in 2000, like 2010, right? 2010. Yeah. So he offers to show me around, and I fall in love with the city through his eyes. And the reason why, a lot of the reason why I see the city the way that I see it, I will go wherever God sends me. Like, I'm not married to the city, first of all. I don't want to make it like, the city's an idol, but he helped me see the beauty and the a lot of positivity in the city, right? So we get involved. We started dating, and we never were married. He did help me find my house. We traveled. We laughed. That was a very, very fun, serious relationship. And when it ended, woo! But before it ended, guess what? This man is 6'5", and along his side, along his torso, I'm talking about 2.5 feet. Wait, about 2 feet. He gets a 2-foot tattoo on his torso. Is his name one way? Wait, it's his name one way, and then when you look the opposite way, is my name. I forget what you call that, but once again, now this really hurt me. Okay, so he ended up getting my name tattooed on him, and he only had one, and when that relationship ended, yeah, I ached so bad. I hurt so bad. And so Leandria said, wow, she's like, I wish a man would love me that much that he would get, my name on him. And at this point, she had like three gentlemen name. I mean, like Lil Wayne, like she's like getting these tattoos on her. I have no tattoos. Not talking about anybody that has tattoos, but the fact that she's getting these men, and some of them she's not with anymore. So she was getting a number of men tattoos, and I would tell her she was having a lot of abortions while she was prostituting God's property. Don't bullshit, kid. That's what she was doing, right? See, I didn't realize that I was doing the same thing, just under a naive complex of, oh, I'm just looking for my husband. Oh, they're choosing me. The Bible says a husband finds a wife. When a husband finds a wife, he finds a great thing. And these are men that know what they want, but were they God-fearing men? Like, were they even men that say they are God-fearing? Are they God-fearing? Right? So here nor there. These men will ask me to marry them, and here I am. I like you, you like me. You love me, I love you. Oh yes, let's get married, right? No, that's not how it's supposed to work. But that's what I did. But my prostituting was love. God's love that I should have given back to him. But if I would have done that, I would not have my two beautiful, wonderful daughters right now. So I have no regrets. I'm so grateful for what I learned. However, I just want to say, man, that heartbreak hurt. Yeah. The gentleman from my childhood, when that didn't work out, we came back together. Even recently, he's like, man, that should be our family, or something to that extent. And I love him. I will always love him. I love even the worst one. I love everybody, because I love everybody. I have God's love in me, and God's love loves everybody, right? So before him, okay, I dated an older gentleman. One of the older gentlemen. Okay. So I dated an older gentleman, and before him, and he was from New York, and he inherited a house in Carolina. So we would get up real early, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, to get to work in Virginia Beach. So I was dating this gentleman. I was not a good stepmom, you guys, and I repent for that. And I asked Yehovah God to forgive me. I was not a good stepmom. But he was older, and he had 3 children. And not that I did anything like, severely bad, but I could have been more involved, right? Or I could have turned his attention from me to them, and I didn't do that. So that was the Jezebel spirit right there. I could have turned his attention from me to his children at that time, and that was for like a few years, I think. I'm gonna say a few years. You guys, this gentleman, when I was going to break up with him, or when something happened, he would get a tattoo, and then he cover it up. He get a tattoo, right? That's a nail, right? Nail in my heart. Like, oh my gosh, now I'm feeling like, you know, I'm obligated. If I made him mad, he wouldn't talk to me for a while, and then when I see him again, he'd have it blacked out. Okay, and then he'd go back and get it. This man ended up having my name on his body like 4 times. I'm not kidding with you, 3 or 4 times. I ended up leaving that situation, soul tie, you know, whatever was going on in that situation. What was going on in that situation was the Jezebel spirit found me to be a great host. A great host. And people who want or who have attempted to destiny swap or whatever with me, the reason why I am who I am and you guys are who you are is because I wasn't intentionally trying to prostitute Yehovah God's property. What I did was what the Jezebel spirit was using me, but what I was doing, what I realized I was guilty of when I pillow talk with my husband, Yehovah Sabaoth, all the time, okay? And what Yehovah Sabaoth let me know is that I was seeking for God in them. I was seeking for the consistent, invigorating, amazing love that I got from my dad, that my dad pulled from God. I was seeking for God, I was looking for God in them. I was looking for God in them. Right? And that's not, and not in a good way. I already had God in me. So I was seeking for them to be these perfect human beings, right? So I'm wrong for that. I'm guilty of that. That's why Yehovah God has set me down. No more rebounds. No more rebounds, right? And I'm showing Yehovah God, look, it's not a lust spirit. Am I a passionate person? Absolutely. That is why these gentlemen marry me. I can be honest about the Jezebel spirit in me, but for them, it's a feeling, it's a passion, it's a love that is rare and that they never felt before, and it's intense, right? It's intense. Yeah, especially if you have 2 people with that same passion and they both love God, Yehovah God. Even if they're not clearly on the same track, it's intense. Okay, man. Christian Keys didn't have anything on the gentleman from my childhood. That was like, I think that is that's the first man that broke my heart. That was the first and last man that broke my heart. My heart was not broken by my dad after the divorce, because he raised me. So, you know, even though I had an attitude and I was upset with him, he chased me. Bullshit. My dad chased me. He shouldn't have had to, but he did. He chased me with God's love, and man, I'm so thankful and grateful for him. I'm so grateful and thankful for that. So now I'm gonna fast forward. So now I'm just gonna say this, get to the point. So throughout my life, I have, I have found myself challenging school systems, government systems. My job was working with systems, accounting, auditing, investigating in many capacities, right? And I learned systems. But a lot of my challenge with systems was with colorism. My daughter went to Howard Middle School, and she would share things with me. And because I know that she would probably be shy or embarrassed by the way that I handled the situations after she would tell me, there's a part of addressing what she would tell me that they did, or the colorist remark that they made, that I would let her see, right? I would let her see that, I'm going to request a meeting. Okay. Have a good day at school, baby. Right? But you guys, when I tell you, when I got in the office with when I got in the office with these individuals, it was no laughing, there was no smiling matter. I would just let them know. I would let them know. Look, I would put them on warning. I would look, I'm just putting you on warning. The next time I will report you, and I guarantee you the only job you will have at this school, if you come back to DCPS, will be as a custodian. I would tell them things like that. I'm not going to say that it's right. I had a righteous anger. But could I have curtailed or curved the things that I said? Definitely. There was a Muslim lady one time that my daughter was actually at the table, and she actually had to tell me with her hand. She was like, because the lady was saying that my daughter was making something up. My daughter, she wouldn't lie to me. My daughter told one of my biggest enemies that I was dating, and I didn't even know he was my enemy. She told him, "You don't know we best friends. You know we close. Me and my mom are close. When I tell you, if my daughter told me this happened, that happened, right?" So as soon as she tried to say that my daughter was making something up, keep in mind that for making it up, what would the repercussions be? She's a young lady now. She's 15, 16. So at that point, I stood up. I just said to her, I said, "You are evil." She's Muslim, so saying evil was like a really bad thing you could say. So my daughter was like, "Calm down." And so even at my job, even at one of my jobs, I'm just going to say, I'm not going to say which one, but I had an EEO at one time, and I hadn't said anything, about different comments, playing the, what is it? Not Like Us song, little things like that. I mean, different things from both. Or I could be sitting in a meeting with non-melanated people, right? And they would talk. I would hear comments like I was at amongst races, and I would be so surprised, like, hello, right? So I've dealt with comments. I've dealt with different things from there's a number of races and cultures, right? But there was two in particular groups that I had challenges with when I was working. So at one point I got fed up and I decided to report this, right? This something that I observed, something that I noticed, and how it made me feel. And recently I ended up getting a report back. I think this was like a few months ago. And they said that I really had no case because they asked everyone on my team, and no one on my team knew my background. So I didn't have a basis or something to that effect. Now, I found a workaround. Yehovah God, Yehovah Sabaoth is my husband. His will be done. But my whole thing is that recently I had to let that go. I had to take that colorist chip off my shoulder. That is not my fight. I had to give it to God. Like, take no offense. I don't care if they lied on you. I don't care if they lied to you. I don't care if they cheated on you. I don't care if they slapped you. I don't care if they cheated with your dad. I don't care if they cheated with your brother. I don't care if they cheated with your husband, your ex-husband, your ex-boyfriend. Release, okay? All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to His purposes. Not our purposes, but His purposes. Yehovah God, Yehovah Sabaoth is doing a new thing. Do you not perceive So I laid the foundation for you because let me tell you, there's people talking about astral projecting. They're talking about destiny swapping and things like that. Let me tell you something. There's a reason why you are who you are and they are who they are. And you can't save them and you can't apologize for who God made you. All you can do is walk in your purpose. Okay, you better act like you in your mind, you see this as a video game. And what are they? NPC, non-playing characters? They're characters that are doing nothing. They have no energy. They have no life in them until you come around. That's how you see it. You better see it as you're the main character and this is your test. And you better play every stage. You better play every stage to the best of your ability. Okay? Play every stage to the best of your ability. And the best way to do that is by being yourself. Let me tell you something. I have worked in jobs. I remember this one older guy that I was involved with, Lord have mercy. I was talking to a friend from work that I was catching up with, and she said, are you still putting your foot down in those meetings on the Hill? Are you still giving them are you still letting them have it? I don't know what she said exactly, but she was pretty much, let me tell you, I am myself and I am myself at all times. I have a great passion in me, but let me tell you how it works, okay? Okay? I can't control my emotions. When I'm filled with the Holy Ghost Spirit, and I pray to be filled with the Holy Ghost Spirit every day, I say, Holy Ghost Spirit, don't leave me. I say, Yehovah God, Yehovah Sabaoth, you are my husband. Why do I keep saying that? Read Isaiah 54. That's what it says. Yehovah Sabaoth. That's God of angel armies. It says, my maker is my husband. Yehovah Sabaoth is his name. That's God of angel armies. So if you can see in the spirit, I'm at the hospital. You better believe this. You better believe there are leagues of angels at the hospital. If you want to be amongst angels, you go to the hospital. Okay? Yehovah Sabaoth. My maker is my husband. I gave him all that love. Listen, you know in the Bible, you know, God had a prophet, Hosea, marry a prostitute. You know that? Read it. And the reason why Yehovah God had Hosea marry the prostitute is because he wanted Hosea to know how he felt with us. I don't care what your sin is. I don't care if it's overeating, over thinking, over analyzing. I don't care if it's idolizing yourself, idolizing clothes, whatever it is. Like I'm not speaking bad on Leandria. I befriended her in part to show my mom something. You know, your colorist views are wrong. Look at my best friend. Look at us. Look at my friend, right? And I would probably say best friend to annoy her because she knows she is my best friend. My parents are my best friends. And after that, it's my friends in this area, you know. Yeah, but I would probably say I said that to gaslight her, okay? But lo and behold, she ended up being right. And I already knew. The girl, you know, I already knew she was using me and abusing me. But it's okay. If I'm reflecting God's love, what am I going to do? Am I going to not help her out? And then she goes and prostitutes herself more, and then it's my fault for rent money, to pay her car note, whatever it was. I still love her. Tell the truth and shame the devil. When I cut whatever cord, whatever human manufactured cord she had, saying that Satan, whom she served, had made me her assignment. Satan, you are a liar. I am not your assignment. Yehovah Sabaoth would not assign me to a filthy whore. And I mean that. And I'm speaking to that spirit. I'm not speaking to her. I'm speaking to that spirit. Yehovah God would never. And I would never agree to that. Why would I sell my soul to you? Why would I sell my soul to anybody? Even these gentlemen that I got involved with, which in appearance it could look that way, but I'm so glad afterwards I repented. And my heartache and my heartbreak, I'm like, Lord God, I don't want to keep feeling like this. Go get my heart back from Meredith. Man, he took my heart. I promise I'll go where you want me to go. I'll spread your word. I'll spread your love everywhere. And that's why I'm on here now. And I tell you this, I love you and I don't want anything from you. And you know, it's such an anomaly, and it's so rare that someone not wants something from someone, that I was not only being monitored on the peer level by, you know, minions of Satan or whatever, whom I don't care about. I just pray for them. Let go of offense. Yehovah God told you, stop ruminating over the narcissist, monitoring spirits, gang stalking, and stop. And astral projecting. Yehovah God said in his word, he says, I will prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. They need to see you at all stages. Let them see you where you were before, because where he's taking you, I saw I saw what they see in you. And why they want to destiny swap and be you. Let me tell you something. I saw in the spirit up in the highest heaven. You can't astral project to the highest heaven, and everybody can't go up there. Let me tell you something. This flesh is nothing. This flesh is nothing. Yehovah Sabaoth is everything, and he controls good and evil. Don't bullshit it out. Read the word. He controls good and bad. He's the one that allowed Satan to have the earth. But as Yehovah God, I have overcome this world. I have overcome this world, and I can say that because honestly, it's only God that I'm not upset, disappointed, or depressed, you know, over what has been done to me. Oh, they did this to me. They didn't do anything to me. They gang stalk and they come together so that they can feel something or get some type of response or reaction out of you. They will never feel you again. They will never feel you again. You are special. You are handsome. You are beautiful. You are made in God's image, but everyone's not made in his likeness. You are special. You are forgiving. You are the epitome of love. You are free. Look, love is in my name. My name is spelled with an E. Olevia. You can take Love. I love is in my name. And guess what? Love covers a multitude of sins. Ooh! Ooh, the demons don't like that. It is written, love covers a multitude of sins. And Yehovah Sabaoth, in the name of YHWH HaMashiach, he made me love. People have known my gift. People see my gift. I didn't need a prostitute. I don't need a warlock. I don't need a astral projector to tell me what my destiny is. I know. Abba Father tells me and lets me know every day. And do you not think let me tell you something. I love Abba Father so much. I love him so much. I saw him early. I saw him early in life. And because I loved him so much, he made me have parents that are like this on me. When I moved to Washington, D.C., they were like, oh no. She can't live there. You guys, I am in my I purchased my house at 29. And they were like, dang, you know, Meredith, that they're not together, so she cannot be there by herself in Washington, D.C. Oh my gosh. So my mom came to stay. My dad came to stay with me for a while. Then my mom would come stay. Keep in mind, my dad is married. They rotated to be with me. Open your eyes. I'm being transparent. See? Almost every day of my life, of course, Yehovah God tells me he loves me, and he pours his love on me, and I come and I want to pour it upon you. I don't want anything from you. I'm not going to ask you for any money. This is not a scam. Have people poured into me? Yes. Yes. But I'll say this, and I'll say this strong. If you are unless it is out of your abundance, I don't want it. I don't need it. If it's out of your abundance, I accept it and I share it because I help others. I help others. That is God's love when I'm able. I'm not working right now. I'm not working right now. And I'm not working right now. But Yehovah Sabaoth takes great care of me. And I'm sharing you guys these details of my heart, and like with Leandria, or my experience in being the woman at the wheel. I'm sharing these things with you, not to say, oh, look at me, this is what I do, but to say, look, if I'm able to let go and be like, look, God bless you guys, right? God bless. Look, I forgive you. I rebuke the demons. I rebuke the demon spirits. They have no authority. I rebuke the Jezebel spirit in the name of YHWH HaMashiach. I go to Abba Father. I say, Abba Father, I repent of all my sins, known and unknown. Okay? That's how I start. I love you so much. I'm so grateful. Yehovah God, for the tables you have allowed me to sit at. People think and look at Washington, D.C. like it is one of the most powerful cities. The powerhouse. It's the powerhouse of the United States. And they say, oh, the United States is, big, right? People idolize the United States, right? I don't idolize anything but Yehovah God, Yehovah Sabaoth. Okay? That's who I want to please. That's who I want to please. That's why we are who we are and they are who they are. I'm so thankful and grateful to God. I cannot complain. People want to always point the finger and blame and complain. You know what I say? Yehovah God, how can I pay you back? Yehovah God, how can I show you appreciation? How can I show you how grateful I am to have this job and be working? I had a wonderful job working from home for over a decade or more. For decades. Blessed, so blessed. 17 years I was able to work from home, working. That's a blessing. And take care of my mom and my children and my husband and cook. I'm so thankful and grateful. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. People want to talk about the black, the white, the brown, the this, the that. Let me tell you something. Red, the blue. In Washington, D.C., let me tell you something. What you see on TV is just a stage. It is not real. You go into those restaurants, they are sitting together laughing and kiki, and they are laughing. The same people you see, politicians and things you see arguing stuff on TV, it's not like that. It's not like that, but it's very sad that it sets a tone in this world that I'm appreciative of. I'll tell you why. I'm appreciative of because everyone is exposed. Everyone's showing who they are, right? For the most part, if you really look, you can see, and you'll see who people really are, right? They can't hide. They are who they are, right? Snakes, demons, light. Light is light, right? At no cost. I'm not asking you for anything. I'm just telling you to gravitate to more light. You be a light. Right? Yehovah God is great. And he loves you. And that's why I'm here. If it was just a handful of you guys, I would still want to be on here encouraging. That's all it started with. And I want to encourage you to turn on your light. Do your YouTube. You don't know who you can encourage. You don't know who you can help. You don't know who could use the word from you. Yehovah God is great. And I'm just going to close out with Isaiah 54. Hey! I have to close out with Isaiah 54. Research, and even on, we have so many tools to help us these days. But if you're going through spiritual warfare, which it should be like more at a calm point now, or just revealed, please research a prayer of how to first, repent of all your sins known and unknown, and then to cast out the Leviathan spirit, the Python spirit, the Jezebel spirit, and what other spirits that you need to cast out, because they have no spiritual authority over you. You know who you serve. You know who made you. They're not your maker. What do they think? We build a bear? What in the world? You didn't build me. My maker is my husband. Go. Please. Please go away, right? But I love you guys. If no one has told you that they love you, please know from the bottom of my heart, from the depths of my soul. Oh my gosh, you are beautiful.
Oh, thank you. So are you.
Look, you guys. Are you like a country singer or something?
Yeah.
She is really beautiful. Oh my gosh, her hair is gorgeous. Okay, so anyway, Yehovah God, have a blessed day. She is gorgeous. Yehovah God is great. I'm going to read Isaiah 54 to you guys, and then I will close this out. 1 second. I'm so thirsty. So, here we go. Okay, I love you guys so much. So anyway, if no one's told you that they love you today, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you so much. I'm so excited. I'm so glad Yehovah God helped me get through this and set the foundation. And for if you judge me, look, I understand. Listen, we're human. I would probably judge me like, what, you know, or who knows how I would respond. But I just love you guys. And I've been in relationships and situations, even with Leandria. I never told her about my calling, and told her about my dad. My earthly dad is a seer, and we talk every day, and how he speaks into me and talks to me and things like that. No, what would that do? If I tell someone who doesn't have a dad, I dated a man in a serious relationship, and he would see how my dad would call me every day, or I would call him in our conversations. And you know, I don't like someone I love, seeing that they have a jealous spirit in them. It didn't make me feel good to see or know that he was feeling bad by, you know, you get what I'm saying, right? So yeah, but sometimes you got to be careful. Let me tell you something. The word doesn't say go tell people you're like, hey, I'm the light, this is who I am. God did this, God adored me. Remember Joseph, right? When Joseph told who he was, what he saw in the dream, right? They came after him out of jealousy. They came after him out of jealousy, right? But Yehovah God protects us. I plead the blood of YHWH Hamashiach over myself, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. Okay, I plead the blood of YHWH Hamashiach over me all the time. My grandparents, my parents, my family, right? I'm not assigned to anyone. I can cut. If God tell me to cut you off, I'll cut you off in a minute. I'll cut you off in a minute. And that don't mean that I don't love you. Listen, if I could go back, I would still have the same experience. I would still love the prostitute having all the abortions. I would tell her, look, I never judged her. I'm just telling you, I'm being transparent. I'm telling you like it is. Okay? I would still encourage her and try to uplift her when I could. You know what she would say? I want you to speak at my funeral. I want you to speak at my funeral. You're going to speak at my funeral. And you know what? I sure will. And I didn't know why she would say that, but let me tell you something. I can honestly tell you today, I would speak at T's funeral. I would speak at her funeral. I would speak at her funeral. I would speak at that individual's funeral. For sure. I would speak at your funeral. I would. I loved you. What I had for you was real. I don't want to be Beyonce. I don't want to be Taylor Swift. I don't want to be anybody else. Well, every time I come back, Lord Father God, please, if you do bring me back, which, you know, if I had to do this again, I just want to be myself. That's it. Okay. But I saw what we really are in heaven. Oh my gosh, I love your coat. You're beautiful. So beautiful. Yes. But I got to tell you. I'll tell you about the dream after I read Isaiah 54. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to read this. If I could find somebody to read it to, I would, but no, I'm just gonna do it right here. Let me see, Isaiah 54. Hi, sir. Are you busy? Oh, no, 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 no. I don't want a cigarette around here. Okay, I'll get it. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go, you guys. Yeah. I get so excited. Okay, I'm gonna calm down. This is Isaiah 54. This is the word Yehovah God gave me recently for this year, and it just excited me, and I want to share it with you guys, and I'm gonna break it down the way that I get it to. So, okay, this is about the Lord. There's 3 sections. Okay, this is the first section. It's about the Lord's compassion for the childless. Okay, when I read this, okay, these first 5 verses, when I read them, it's not literally just talking about a barren woman or a woman whom has not had any children yet. I don't want you to look at it like that. It's for someone that may be up in age that, you know, want to pursue a different career, or, you know, want to do something different, or you know, had hopes and dreams that they think are gone, want to buy a property, or, you know, anything. Could be any hope or dream that you've had, or that you've gone to God and asked God about, that you have not yet seen come to fruition. Okay, so here we go. It says, okay, sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear, break forth into singing and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, saith the Lord. Like, you don't know. You're sitting there thinking that there's no hope. You should have. There's more. I have even more for you if you just believe, right? So enlarge the place of your tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thine habitations. Spare not, lengthen thy cords, and strengthen thy stakes. Did you guys get that? Anybody that think that the God's word is boring, right there he said, enlarge the place of thy tent. He's talking, he's using the analogy of a barren woman, a childless woman. So when he says enlarge the place of your tent, he's talking about the female anatomy. He's referring to the female anatomy as a tent. Can you see it now? He says, enlarge the place of your tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of your habitations. Curtains, okay? I'm not going there, okay? But Yehovah God this is why I love him so much. Spare not, lengthen your cords, and strengthen your stakes. For you shall break forth on the right hand and on the left, and your seed shall inherit the Gentiles, and make the desolate cities to be inhabited. Okay. Fear not. Look, fear not, for I shall not be ashamed, neither shall I be confounded. For I shall not be put to shame, for I shall forget the shame of my youth, and shall not remember the reproach of my widowhood anymore. You should say that. It says, fear not, for you shall not be ashamed, neither be you confounded, for you shall not be put to shame. For you shall forget the shame of your youth, and shall not remember the reproach of your widowhood anymore. Okay, now is it making sense why I shared my background and why I feel like Yehovah God gave me this to share with you guys? That was my shame I was bearing with you guys. My flesh, you know, to the world and to my flesh, that was like my shame in that sense, right? Yeah. So, and I'm not ashamed. Like I feel free that I've shared. Let me tell you, I have not shared a lot, to be honest. Wow, some of that I haven't shared with anybody. So I'm so grateful and thankful that I was able to be vulnerable and share that with you guys. I feel great about it. For my maker is my husband, the Lord of hosts is his name, and my Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the God of all the earths and all the universe, shall he be called. You heard that? See, that's where I get that from. He said, for your maker is your husband. He said, I'm your husband. Shoot, you need not fear. I'm here with you, and he has been here with me, you guys. I'm telling you. Okay, this next section is about certain deliverance from affliction. Okay, so I'm gonna read these next 5 verses. Okay. For the Lord hath called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth, when you were refused, saith thy God. Look at this. He says, I have called you as a woman that was forsaken and grieved in your spirit, and a young wife that was refused. Do you know how scared it is to be a wife and be refused, to be on your own, or feel like you're not loved? That's a scary feeling, you know, because you want this Romeo and Juliet situation. You want this fairy tale, and it's not panning out the way you want it to. This is why I'm not upset at anyone. I'm not upset at empty vessels coming together to feel something. I'm praying for them, and I'm trying to point them to the way. I'm trying to point them to where I get all my passion from. Before Yehovah God knew me, I was set apart. It is written, before Yehovah God knew me, I was set apart. Before he even placed me in my mom's womb, he already knew me. He already knew me. And you too, light bearers. That's law. That's in Yehovah God's word. Look it up. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. I do know, okay, some people be like, oh, but Yehovah God says he'll never leave you nor forsake you. Sometimes words are replaced, so maybe that forsaken means, I just turned away for a minute. You want to play with the Jezebel spirit? You want to seek for me in different men, Olivia? You want to go seek for me in different men? You want to see if you can find the love that I only gave you in your dad, and that you can only find in me? And then a huger love that you can only find in me? You go right ahead. I'll turn away. And say, if you want to dabble in permissive will versus my perfect will, you go right ahead. You keep catching those rebounds. In a little wrath I hid my face from you for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on you, saith the Lord, my Redeemer. For this is as the waters of Noah unto me. Now listen to this, you guys. Here God go. He going way back. He's about to say, look, the same promise I made to Noah. Remember when I told Noah, I made that huge promise to Noah? That's how this promise is to you. Watch this, okay? He said, for this, as the waters of Noah unto me, for as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth, so have I sworn that I would not be wroth with you, nor rebuke you. What? That's Yehovah God. I don't care. That's Yehovah God saying, I'm back. You're back. You're awake. I needed you to see this. These people I had you love, the snakes, the bisexual, the homosexual, the down low, the murderer, the soul murderer, the warlock, the witch, the prostitute, the baby killer that'll kill a baby and don't even care, and you're begging her not to, the user, the people that are so empty and so mad at me that they'll try to come at you to get at me. Don't bullshit kid it on Monday. Head up, boy. He said, I'm back now that you're awake. Now that you stop looking for a rebound. Now that you stop looking for me and a human and a man. I'm back. Because you're awake. So now I can sup with you. I can tell we can be one. As the body of Christ, as you and I, we're in the same body. I saw this, y'all. And I'll tell you in the end, I just get excited at certain verses, okay? Forgive me. Don't forgive me. I'm not asking for your forgiveness. I'm sharing with you. This is my reading of the word. He says, for this is as the waters of Noah unto me. For as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth, so have I sworn that I would not be wroth with you, nor rebuke you. For the mountains shall depart, and the hills be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from you. Neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, saith the Lord. that hath mercy on me. Don't be mad at your enemies. Treat them with kindness. I will. I am. I mean, I see some of the worst enemy. Despite me knowing what they did. I mean, I did call one time just to see, like, you know, really. And just like a snake. Just like a snake. But guess what? I still love. I love her as I know God loves her. Not the Jezebel, not the Python, not the Leviathan spirit, but her. I do love her. I love everybody. Just like the warlock, just like the soul murderer. I love them, but not the emptiness they're chasing, not the let me tell you what God has given them is this in comparison to what I know Yehovah God has for us. And it's sad. And I've cried and I prayed for them. I did. And I'm just so thankful that I forgive and I have released them, because you can't keep treading your wheels in one place. Yehovah God has other places for you to go and other people for you to touch and for you to bless. Okay? So, okay, now. This is the exciting part. Okay, let me calm down. This is God will restore. This is... Okay, 7 verses. Okay, you guys ready? Okay, so this is God will restore. 2026. Come on, this is it. Oh, thou afflicted, tossed with tempest and not comforted. Behold, I will lay your stones with fair colors and lay your foundations with sapphires. And I will make your windows as of a gates and the gates of carbuncles and all your borders of pleasant stones. And all your children shall be taught of the Lord, and great shall be the peace of your children. Amen. Okay. In righteousness shall you be established. You shall be far from oppression. 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 We are far from oppression. We are far from oppression. Okay? We are far from oppression. Hey! For you shall not fear. Keep in mind, you shall not fear is in the Bible 365 times. People ask me sometimes, how do you walk up and do that? How do you go to these people and do this? God says, do not fear. And when you do not fear and you have God on your side, that is when things happen. Now I cry for all my loved ones, and especially the ones that are lost, because Yehovah God, it is written, Yehovah God, Yahweh Sabaoth, my husband will not suffer a witch to live. It is written, it's better. It is better that a demonic minion ties something around its neck, something heavy, something weighty, and toss themselves in the sea, than to cause one of his children to stumble. I'm his child. I belong to him. I've known that forever. Even if you hurt my body, my spirit, my soul is eternity. Don't bullshit it on Monday. Eternal light. I've been so close to him. I have sunspots. You kidding me? For thou shalt not fear, and from terror, for it shall not come near you. All you're going to hear is maybe your earring. It's going to feel like a hair, an eyelash. It's going to feel like an eyelash like this on you. Or you're going to hear a little ringing. That's all you're going to know. That's all you're going to see. Let me tell you, even the government watches people. Space Command is not new. I was stationed in Space Command more than 18 years ago. You can look it up. I'm no longer under the government, so I can share. I'm released. Space Command in Dahlgren, Virginia. Look it up. There's so much stuff. The government hires psychics and prophets. You know, they have a chaplain, but they also hire psychics. The FBI, the CIA. They're just they're dabbling in the occult, right? Necromancers. They want information so bad, or they want what they want so bad that they'll put a high-ranking witch in the Congo or in, you know, wherever on their payroll so that they can get information, so they can do these things. But that stuff is only temporary. Yeah, that stuff is real. The government astral project. The government has equipment that can see through walls. It's called thermal. There's all types of stuff. That's why you have to stay prayed up and keep your armor on. Like, be afraid for what? You thought you can scare me? You're not even a gnat. These people that are astral projecting, that they want they're pretending like they have some type of power. Back to hell from whence you came. Witches and warlocks, pythons and serpents, I trample you under my feet. Okay? So where we leave off. Okay, so I just had to say that. Okay. So then he says, here we go. He says, and from terror. Okay, I'm gonna make you guys laugh. Okay, from terror, for it shall not come near you. So when it was revealed to me, or when I finally, when Yehovah God really opened my eyes and I started seeing like demonic spirits for what they were, I started seeing, you know, truth in situations, you guys. And then I started realizing that they were trying to astral. These people sold their soul to spout on the pure level. Why? That's heartbreaking. I don't care about the soulless people of my past sleeping together. I'm not tied to you. I'm tied to Yehovah God. Okay? I'm tied to Yehovah God. I don't care about that, but I just think that's so sad. Okay, here we go. Oh, that was okay. Okay, here we go. So then he says, hey, this is, oh gosh. Okay, so he says, from terror, for it shall not come near you. Ha ha. Okay. He said, in righteousness, I'm going to say it again. In righteousness shall we be established. We shall be far from oppression, for we shall not fear, and from terror, for it shall not come near us. That's Yehovah God's promise. He said, behold, like, look and see. They shall surely gather together, but not of me. That means they gather together under a different God name, a lower God name, a God that can't touch you, can't do anything without his permission anyway. Satan. Okay. He says, whosoever shall gather together against you shall fall for your sake. Anyone that gathers up against us shall fall for our sake. Amen. Thank you, Yehovah God, because you know I have work to do. Who have time for these gnats? But they're just a distraction. You have to ignore them. Okay? Pray for them. Pray for them. He says, oh, no bullshit. You guys, now this is the hardest part. Okay? This is the hardest part. Oh, I thought I hit stop. Oh my gosh. You guys, this part goes hard, and I need you guys to see it. No. I need you guys to see this. Here, I want you to see this right here. He says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. He said he got something harder than a Smith & Wesson. You guys read that again. He said, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. No weapon that is formed against us shall prosper, and every tongue that rises up against us in judgment we shall condemn, because this is the heritage of us that are servants of the Lord. I'm his slave, okay? Servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of him. Yehovah Sabaoth, saith the Lord. Yehovah Sabaoth, in the name of YHWH HaMashiach. Hey! You guys, I go crazy every time I read that. Yehovah God basically is saying, do you guys see what happened with Judas? Judas didn't wait on God to deal with him. He killed himself. Do you know how low and broken you have to be to want to die? Do you know how empty you have to be to the desolate place you have to be in to go to those links? Do I wish that on anybody? No. But it is written, Yehovah God will not suffer. It is written that Yehovah God in the name of YHWH Hamashiach will not suffer a witch to live. That's what he wrote. That's his word, not mine. That's not my word. That's what he says. He controls good and evil. Why would I fear? I'm handcuffed to Yehovah God. I'm handcuffed to him. Yehovah God are my freckles. Every melanin, every piece of melanin on me is Yehovah God. Okay? So anyway, I want to tell you guys this. So with all that being said, another reason what made me know that Yehovah God does not want us to take offense. Don't be upset about those things. Don't dwell on them. Stop talking about the narcissist, the monitoring spirit, the astral projecting, the this or that. Who cares? Deal with it. Rebuke them, cast them down, and destroy them. Yes, acknowledge it. But once you acknowledge it, now you have to do something. You got to put on your war clothes. You got to stay girded up. Okay? Yehovah God is great, and I'm here with you, and I'm here for you. If you want someone to pray with, you call my number. But let me tell you something I'm about to show you in a second. Look. So Yehovah God took me up to the highest heaven. And in the highest heaven, let me tell you something. In the Bible, it is written, Yehovah God says, there is a generation that shall not see death. How exciting is that? There is a generation that shall not see death. But in the twinkling of an eye, you know how fast the twinkling of an eye is? We shall all be changed. He says, from our corruptible bodies, that's our flesh, to our incorruptible bodies. Right? You guys, there is no pain, there is no heaviness. It's just like when I'm overwhelmed and I'm excited, but that all the time. And they're using it to praise and worship God. The attention is on him. Not TV, or getting so bored with TV that you want to astral project and go into other people's houses and see. Who cares what other people are doing? Who is that important? Look, I don't even watch TV that much anymore. I'm so busy chasing God, trying to learn and study him. Look, when I like somebody, I don't care who it is. Or no, I have always chosen the men that choose me. I have not gone for the men that I choose. Because that's what I was taught. So, yeah. But anyway, when a gentleman lets me know that he's interested in me, what I'll do is I study him. I ask him questions. I ask him so many questions. He's like, dang, like, yeah. And then some questions I'll ask 2 or 3 times. Investigator in me. Yeah, I'm more than that. I have many gifts. I don't know just no accounting. I'm not just an auditor, investigator. God's given me many gifts. Caretaker, lover, as a wife, lover, okay. Joyful, funny. I'll cook for you. I have anointed hands. I can heal you. I have healing hands. I can heal you by the power and authority Yehovah God has placed in me in the name of YHWH Hamashiach with the love. I can hug you. I can hug you so tight. I can fill you up. I can feel your emptiness, and I'll hold you long enough until some of my virtue from God gets into you. Because I touch the hem of his garment every day. But one time was enough for me. Yehovah God took me up to the highest heaven, you guys, okay? And what I could see is just these gnashing up people, just angry, just a group of people. It was like not even like a culture war. It was good against evil. And evil was it was dark, it was heavy, it was empty. It was, that feeling when you get, before you can turn on your critical thinking skills, that feeling you get when you get some devastating news or something negative, not good. It was constant. And it was time infinity is what they were feeling. It's like a black hole. You go into that black hole, they say you go into time, but as they're falling continuously. They're not going to stop falling. One guy I dated, he was not a very nice person. I guess he used to have dreams or be concerned about that black hole falling. And the reason why is because he even put it on someone's obituary, or I don't know, something about there's a ground, or hopefully there's a ground or something, but there is no ground in hell. You just burn and you on fire. You trying to hold on to the sides. There's people packed on people. There's not enough people in hell. There's not enough people in hell. Because people on this earth are so greedy for money and things that don't even matter. All you have to do is ask Yehovah God and he will provide. I get on here and I told people that I did not need anything. And I do mean this. I do not need, listen, please, especially if you're just making your bills and things of that nature, no. But if out of your abundance, if you want to say, look, yes, you know, I have this to help, then that I appreciatively accept, but I don't need it. Okay? But Yehovah God has told me to make my account information available, because he's been blessing me in miraculous ways, and he's been doing it. And I'm so grateful and thankful. I'm so grateful and thankful, to the point where the government is investigating, like, this is this a scam? Like, what is the scam? The scam is Yehovah God delivered me from a death sentence of going to hell, had I continued to keep seeking for him with men. If I continued to give his jewels away, I belong to him. I belong to him. So anyway, so when I went up, keep in mind, Yehovah God is ineffable. Ineffable means there is no words. There's nothing you can describe it. But you could feel what he feel his heart. And I'll give you an example. With me feeling his heart, I'm gonna talk to you like I'm gonna talk to the person that has done the worst thing to me ever in the world. The most, worst thing. Somebody that the world would probably try to kill. I'll put it that way, okay? I'm gonna talk to you just for a minute. I love you. You hurt me. Yes, you hurt me. But I still love you. And I will always love you. I love you. I forgive you. And I love you. And I release you. And I let you go. But I don't regret loving you. And please remember that love. In whatever capacity, in whatever way that you saw it. I forgive you. I forgive you for the abominable acts. I forgive you. I love you. Let me tell you something. This door would not have opened had things not played out the way that they played out. Everything that your enemies meant for your harm, Yehovah God is using for your good. I honestly feel like I'm walking on another plane of heaven. I pray. When you pray, the prayer is, Abba, Father, in the name of YHWH HaMashiach. Okay? Which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Look at this, on earth as it is in heaven. That's how I feel. I pray that prayer, and that's how I feel. I feel right now like I'm so excited about what's ahead and what Yehovah God showed me. So here they are. They're nasty. These are people that I love, that I gave to. Whom I would have went for broke. I would have gone. I went for broke for. Okay? I love that much. And it's a number of them. It's not 2. It's not 3. It's several. And I'm looking at the ones that, it's like one that just really breaks my heart the most. And you guys, I'm like this. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna demonstrate. So here I am. So I'm just like this. So here I go. So I'm like this. I'm like this. It's breaking my heart so much, y'all, that I'm like this. I'm just like this because it's, I'm kneeling down. I'm praying to God. I'm kneeling down, right? Let me show you. So they're coming. They're all mad. They're coming against me. They're going to get me. They got these accusations on, and it's like, but their accusations and everything is like, it's what they're trying to hit me with. It's like eyelashes. Like it's nothing. But they just believe, and Satan is back there laughing, making them think. And Satan is the slender, is darkness. He's the slender man. He's just darkness. He's just eternal darkness. He's like, you know how people say, And I hope people that astral project are not the ones that are causing people to have sleep paralysis. You know, when people just stop breathing in their sleep, they feel like something's on them or holding them or something. I don't want to connect those dots. I really don't. But anyway, it's like a dark fig, it's a shadow man, like a dark figure. You know, he's from hell, like an agent of hell. But also you can be seeing that, and it could be it could be the government sometimes, right? I'm just telling you guys, let me tell you something. You can look it up yourself. Space Command is not new. Space Command is not 3 or 4 or 5 years old. Okay? I was stationed at Space Command decades ago, 20 years ago, and it has to be older than that. Okay? The most boring base ever, Dahlgren, Virginia, but I learned a lot. And being isolated like that, I became real strong in the spirit. Real strong in the spirit. I fell in love with Washington, D.C. But anyway, okay, so anyway, I'm devastated. I'm down, you guys. Like, man, you ever feel that way? Like, and I'm feeling, and because I love them, like if I stand up, I'm gonna go away from them. If I know when I lift up, I'm gonna move away from them. But I'm like, I just can't believe it. So then I feel Yehovah God, because I can't lift up myself. All of a sudden, I'm being lifted up like this while I'm kneeling. So then I begin to stand. Okay. So then I begin to stand. And as I stand, what I see for all you light workers, us, you see that light in the eye? You see that sparkle, that light? That's what we are. So when Yehovah God says we are the apple of his eye, when he says, if your eye offend you, then, toss it out. And what he's saying is, listen, if you have family members, people that want to delve into the occult, if you know someone doesn't want to be with you, stop making them an idol. Let them go. If they want to sleep around and stuff, if they don't want to cherish you and respect you and treat you the way that you're supposed to be treated, give it to God. You got to go. It's time for you to go. Pray about it. But don't pray about it so much that you make that person an idol. I prayed about one situation so much. Look, that's probably why the Leandria, the young lady that I will speak at your funeral. I have no hatred, animosity. I feel sorry for you. And the way and the people that you recruited. Do you know what you did to yourself and your own bloodline? Everything you tried to do to me is done worse to you. It's back to sender in the name of YHWH HaMashiach. Signed, sealed, delivered in the blood of YHWH HaMashiach. It don't touch me. It don't touch me. Satan lied to you. What do you want? You prostituted out that God's property. You go to God, God will redeem you and have somebody receive you as if you were never prostituted, right? I've been married a couple of times, okay? And they received me as a wife. Now, was it perfect? No, especially, I just give it to God, I forgive, but I'm just saying, Yehovah God is great. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm forgiving. Look at yourself. You can't you do not belong to yourself. You belong to Yehovah God. Please, Yehovah God, man. It is not worth it. Satan is lying to you guys. Whatever he's offering you guys. Look how sad Kanye is. Or people that sell their souls or sell their loved ones' souls. They're not happy afterwards. For Yehovah God I live. For Yehovah God I die. And I have killed my flesh. Do you think I couldn't get a rebound? Do you know how many individuals, this is not me bragging, but at one point, so many individuals were trying to pursue me aggressively that I would lie and say that I was married. So many individuals were trying to pursue me, and when I would say I was single, because I would try to show them God's love and kindness. There was one individual, he was 10 years younger than me, and I'm not talking to anybody more than maybe 6 months younger than me. I'm just not interested in that. God's will be done, not mine. But this individual, he was a football player, but because of his attitude, they they benched him a couple of times. He was a big deal, you know, from the DMV area, was a football player, and he would help me, you know, sometimes he would help me in the community. And sometimes he would have a very bad attitude towards people in the community. If they were, he developed a soul tie, and I take responsibility. He developed a soul tie, and I was to blame, but I had to cut that off. I had to stop delving with that. I had to realize that he wasn't just around me to help me, that he didn't just lust me. He was in love with me in a way that I couldn't meet, you know, that I was interested in that. So anyway, I say that to say other people also, I got to share this. Oh, also, let me tell you ladies something. I'm going to tell you ladies something, because I know you ladies, there's a lot of women that want a husband. Let me tell you what's going to put you at the front. Your light. God first always. The light in you is going to put you at the front. But don't be like the world. Don't beg for the man to fly you out and pay for this and pay for that. Yes, let him court you. Let him court you. But let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something special. I'm going to tell you two things. One thing I love a man's haircut, a good haircut. Like a good haircut, especially when they take time to, when it's cut a certain way and position, I love a good man's haircut. And even if I'm not interested in a gentleman all day long, I don't care what age you're. If I see a guy with a nice haircut, not while I'm with my husband or married, but I'll compliment and say, I like your haircut. And you should see how taken aback some men get. There was a very handsome, this guy, he was so handsome. And yesterday, I told this young man, I was like, oh my gosh, I love your haircut. He looked like he could be a Brad Pitt in his early 30s for sure, early 30s. I'm gonna keep it there. I was like, your haircut looks great. And he stopped and he was like, and normally people would be like, oh, thanks, that's a nice compliment, keep it moving. But he paused and he was like, I really appreciate you for that. And the way that, look, I'm gonna show you what he did, you guys. Look, because everybody else is like, okay, like you, even while I'm on the phone with you guys, I can't help it. I've seen two women. I compliment men and women, and the reason why I do that, and then I'm gonna get back on point. No, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. So anyway, the gentleman, what he did was, I'm so excited. I love you guys. Let me pause. I love you guys so much. And this is my true personality, just so that you know. Okay, so anyway, what he did was, I was like, your haircut, I said, your haircut looks really nice. I hope you gave them a tip or something like that. You guys, he paused just like this and he looked at me and he said, thank you. He was like, he was like, no. And he stepped forward. He was like, I really appreciate that. Like, thank you. And I kept laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. And I was like, look, I just hope you tipped him. And I was like, what? I said, what is the name of the, I said, what's the name of your barber? What barber do you go? I said, I hope you tipped him. And he actually gave me the name of him. And I was like, okay, because I'm definitely going to refer people to that barber. And he felt so good, right? And it made me feel good to make him feel good. And now I'm going to get to the point. The reason why I do that is because I don't think I paid attention to people complimenting me, or I can't even tell you how many compliments I received, or if I even received compliments. Of course I did. Like some, but I'll tell you this. But it was just a ridiculous amount of compliments when I was in a very bad relationship with a gentleman that I don't know why he was mean to me, but I don't know why he was mean to me. But for instance, when we would go out sometimes, and I would be feeling like a certain way about my clothes and stuff, like, man, I need to do this and do that, or yeah, especially I'd had a baby, so I was like, man, I would just think different things, and then I put my clothes on and go out, and someone would be like, oh, you are beautiful, you this, or you that, or this looks nice, or that looks nice. And he'd say I'd intentionally wear things for that attention. And as opposed to me getting angry, initially I would want to please him, right? Or plead my cause, like, no, I don't want to please anyone but you. I promise I love you. I love you so much. But then what I ended up learning is I internalized it differently, as God was trying to show me, you look great. Here you are being insecure about yourself, and you got people complimenting you, and then you have even this guy you're with, dating or whatever, thinking you did it on purpose. So Yehovah God works in mysterious ways. That was, so as opposed to making it make me feel insecure or inferior, it actually boosted my esteem and stuff. And also, as far as with the colorism things, there are comments that he would make, like he would call me WT. He'll say you're YT trash, or he'll just say things. And as opposed to me thinking in terms of, oh, he's calling me, I'd be like, I'd turn it around and I would flip it in his face, and he would get so upset. I'd say, well, thank you, because I'm not, but I'm from God, and God made me a mixture of so many different things. Or he'll call me an avatar, and I say, ooh, avatars look good. That's a compliment. I love Avatar. I think avatars are beautiful. I said, or just different things, okay? And I could just flip it. I just know, only Yehovah God gave me that ability, because other people would think something else. Or, okay, like for instance, if he said, like he called me a whore before, right? It was like, and I would look at it as opposed to me looking at it, I actually looked at it as, wow. Most other guys would say how nerdy I am, because they would know me from, he didn't know me from, every other guy I met, I knew from like a professional standpoint. We met like through work or through childhood in school. So they knew me as, more of a scholar, more of a, smart nerd, this, right? So him saying that, I would do things like this. I said, I'd be like, ooh, you're bringing out the panther cheetah. You're bringing out the panther cheetah jaguar in me. Which one? And, I just make light of it, make him laugh. Let's just move on from that, right? Like, you're not gonna make me feel bad about myself. I know who I am. I know who Yehovah God has called me to be. Have I been the water at the well, seeking God in men, but never, trying to just exploit or just get money out of them and things like that. So women, listen. Also, if you try this, okay. If you really like the gentleman, after 3 days, after he takes you on 3 days, you set up a date. Okay, I'm telling you, a nice one. You set up a date. And some women are like, no, you're thirsty, you're this, you're that. Can I tell you, the gentleman that I tell you that was mean to me, he gave me the most rings in the shortest amount of time of being with someone. I think 4 to 6 diamond rings. And not that it's about that, but my point is, and this is when I was going to break things off. And this was one of the final straws, was not just me seeing a deceased person in his home, but on the stairs, just looking, just staring off, watching, us carry on. But it was, he told me, he said, and I have proof. I have it recorded, actually. He was like, I've been looking at tattoos, or I talked to a tattoo person, or I was gonna, and I knew right then, no, that if I would have stayed, if we would have been together and he would have gotten that tattoo, that would not have been good for me. No, that would not have been good for me. So I knew to flee at that point. But you guys, yes, Yehovah God listen, and let me tell you, we are when they see themselves, they are exactly who they are. They are not, there's nothing for them. They are who they are. Just add fire, put them, put them in a pit of fire. Lord, I hope they stop. But I don't know. Why would Yehovah God reveal this to us if they're going to stop doing what they're doing? I feel bad. From letting see a person in the world be like, don't feel bad for them. That's what they deserve. My heart aches for them. If you see the devastation and how their hearts and how heavy they're going to feel once the light leaves them eternally, there are not a lot of you and me. There are not a lot of people that are like, Yehovah God supplies all my needs according to, Yehovah God supplies all my wants and needs according to his riches and glory. Ha! And his power that is at work within me. Let me tell you something. Eyes have not seen. Ears have not seen. Ears have not heard. Nor has it been placed in heart of man what Yehovah God, Yehovah Sabaoth has for us whom really love him. And that's what's on the table right now. Now, in conclusion, what I want to tell you is, I want to thank the people with overflow that have blessed. Because guess what? In return, what I plan to do and what I want to do, God willing, and with your support, I want to have housing for some unsheltered. You know, maybe find some land in a community where you can have like the little 1-bedroom houses. Have you guys seen those? They're like little, they look like little sheds or whatever. You know, there's a lot of people that are choosing to live in those. That's like a minimalist, right? Or even houses in different places for the unsheltered. And Yehovah God, you know, there's funding and things for those things. I'm just excited about that. Not just that, different programs for children, foster children, you know, at-risk children. You know, I want to get a food truck. Okay, I want to get a food truck. And before I get the food truck, what I plan to do is make different dishes and allow different people to taste the food and give me their feedback. And then with the excess of what we sell the food for on the food truck, it'll be the least shall be first. Then we can put, you know, give them food, give the unsheltered and the people that need food, food free. Okay, something else I want to tell you guys about your credit and stuff. Relax. Okay. Some of you guys that are concerned, if you do the best you can, but pay your important essential bills first. They were talking about getting rid of the consumer protection financial board. Okay, eventually the credit score and stuff, that's not going to matter. But you want to pay like your mortgage, you want to pay your rent, you want to pay your utilities. Okay, then you pay your cell phone, then you have like your credit cards and things like that. But you know, in the Bible, it is written that every 7 years that debts are forgiven, and you know that is true with your credit report. Now, this is something that I should not be telling people. Okay, so I'm going to tell you that. Look, this is not a big secret. One good side job has always been repairing credit reports, right? But in the past, you had to write these letters, and then you wait for the letters to get back and things like that. Now, you put your information on, it's like a push button. You know, okay, I want to dispute this on my credit report, and then it's a drop down box. It's radio buttons and drop down boxes for the reason. And then when you follow up on that, they have 30 days to respond, right? If they don't respond in 30 days, then it falls off your credit. And before I say get into the realm of encouraging anything illegal, just visit your credit report, focus on what's important on your credit report. And okay, so that's one thing. Also, what I wanted to share is life is so exciting. Life is so great and exciting. Whatever bad habits or whatever you're doing that you shouldn't be doing, just work on it. Really go to God about it. I'm not going to tell you just to work on it. Pray about it. I want you to pray about it. Really just pray your heart out to God about it. He hears you and He will answer. Okay? And you have people that love you and will support you. I love you and I will support you. And I'm not the only light bearer. Okay, I meet light all the time, and it feels great. It feels great to connect with other light. And 2 hours and 8 minutes, almost 9 minutes. I just want to tell you guys, I love you. I don't want anything from you. And listen, for 10 days. For 10 days, I was going through spiritual warfare. Someone tried to steal my identity through the internet. And Yehovah God was showing me, you guys, I'm just thinking about that. Seriously, I had an identity theft issue with my email, and it was really going on in real life. Is what I just isn't God amazing? For 10 days, I did. I had already planned not to be on. After sharing what Shane went through with his dad sexually molesting him. And Shannon, we love you. There's no N in your name. There's no N in Shane. It's no M in Shane. It's a N. Shannon. And we love you. And we love you. And he felt loved when he saw that video. Not just the video, but it was like 278,000 views as support on one, and then it was like, I think over 500,000 views on the longer one, or vice versa. with over 250,000 views, you guys. Look, you guys deserve this. This transparent and see. Okay. Wow, that week my identity, I was going through identity theft, and it was really going on, but it didn't succeed. Yehovah God is so great. I'm promise. I'm gonna close this out because I don't want to get it. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that. And it was really going on. Someone was really trying to do it. I'm telling you, I just realized this is nothing but God. I just realized that. So anyway, for those 10 days, you guys, I was just with God. I was just going through like, wow. And I felt it, like I was felt at peace. I was like, Yehovah God, I want to make sure that when I use this portal, when I use this, my tube is about you. I want to point everything to you. Don't want to get it in. This is so great, man. Wow, I just had that realization now. He was telling me right then. Okay, I love you guys so much. Okay. If nobody's told you they love you today, I love you so much. Believe it. This is genuine. This is from God. This is not from me. He loves you so much, and do not be offended by people. What they meant for your harm, you guys. God's going to use to bless you. I promise you. God's going to use to bless you. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited about the people. I'm not excited for myself. You know what I'm excited about? I promise this. I'm excited about helping you and helping other people, and outreaching and helping different. I'm excited about the people that Yehovah God is going to allow us to help, because you are selfless. I know you are. You are selfless. When you go through things, you don't think about yourself. You think about others, or other commitments, and other promises that you may feel like you're going to falter on. It's not about you. You don't care. Okay? You're a real soldier. Like I was in the Navy. How in the world did it? You know? You're all right, right? Yehovah God is so great. Yehovah's all of this. He is awesome, you guys. I'm just sitting here just thinking about this thing. But I love you guys. If no one's told you they love you today, I love you so much. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting me in every way. Just subscribing, just watching. If you stayed this long, I love you so much. Let me tell you, I do have a mother and I do have a father. And I thank God that they love the Lord, and my children love the Lord, and you know, my friends here, they love the Lord. It's not just my blood, that's my family. Yehovah God said that it's not my mother, and you know, my mother and my brother and sister, my brother that you see back there, they are not just it's you that are you are my family. I choose you. I don't want to choose my friends. I don't want to choose nothing anymore. I want Yehovah God to choose everything from me, for me. But I really have to go now. I'm so overwhelmed, you guys. I love you guys so much. Yehovah God loves you guys so much, okay? Just believe it in your soul and your spirit. I love you so much. I promise it's not just gonna get better, it's gonna be the best. You living your best life. I saw it, and it was like we were look, the reason why it glistens and glows so much is because it's like we're made of like the best jewels. What people see on the outside is nothing compared to the inside, but the reason why you get looks sometimes maybe bad, sometimes good, right? I've gotten good and bad looks before. But if you see your glorious body, it is beautiful. And they saw it. And they got mad because then they had to look at themselves. And they're going to remain the same. Even if let's say that I decided to remain in darkness and be a Jezebel, or to prostitute my body. And, oh, yeah, how much money can you give me? Something that's priceless after Yehovah God forgave me? No. I'm not, you think for some lust? No, I'm not doing anything just for some money. When I lie with you, it's because I love you. That's what you feel. You feeling God's love. You're not feeling a dead body. Everybody else is just a dead body. They dead on this earth. If you don't have God, you're dead and lifeless. If you don't have Yehovah God, that's all it is. It's nothing. But I love you so much. If no one's told you they love you today, again and again, I pour out my love to you. I love you so much. God bless you.